The wealth gap is widening in America. CEOs getting paid a whole lot more than their employees. According to new data from the nonprofit group called Just Capital, this year the average CEO is making 235 times more money than the median worker.
They don't care if that person languishes or struggles to make ends meet. They don't care if that person needs to rely on public assistance just to survive. The longer they can use them, the more they can underpay them, the more rich these companies get. It's an extremely vicious cycle.
The report found that 87% of Americans believe this disparity to be a problem, while about 70% think there should be a cap for what CEOs are paid relative to their average worker.
News broke this week that CEO pay in this country has hit a new all-time high. The median CEO pay in America is now $14.7 million a year. Many of them make way more than that. 9 of them made over $50 million last year. Despite everything going on around us, CEOs have had a great couple years. They've seen their pay increase 31% on average since 2020. The average worker pay increase since 2020? 11%.
The sentiment that CEO pay is too high spanned all political affiliations, with the vast majority of Democrats, Republicans, and independents saying CEOs are overpaid.
That means the CEO to worker pay ratio on average is 235 to 1. That is absurd. But with inflation reaching a 40-year high, even those modest gains for workers are mostly wiped out. In many cases, inflation is outpacing any gain they might have seen since 2020. And this isn't a left thing or a right thing. Most of the country agrees this is way too much for people to be making. In a recent survey, a vast majority of Americans across all political ideologies agreed that CEO pay for America's top companies was way too high. That's 71% of Republicans, 81% of Democrats, and 68% of independents. So there's broad national consensus on the issue, so we should do something about it, right? It's not that simple.
For those surveyed, the solutions appear focused on raising worker pay rather than paying CEOs less. 85% surveyed say American companies can reduce income inequality by raising their minimum wage to a living wage.
People largely agree that increasing worker pay is one of the best remedies to this situation. 85% of people surveyed supported increasing the minimum wage to a living wage. And we absolutely should do this. Low-wage workers in this country got hit the hardest during the pandemic. They didn't see a 31% pay increase. They were out there risking their health and safety, making pennies on the dollar for what they produced. They were called heroes and essential workers and got nothing in return. But some Democrats did just try to raise the minimum wage last year. Unfortunately, Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, and Republicans blocked it. Why do they do this? It's because they're totally bought out by these same corporations and CEOs. The lower those companies can keep wages, the more surplus value they can extract from these workers, which means higher profits and ultimately higher CEO and executive pay. So why would they support raising the minimum wage when they can continue making more money for people doing the same work? They don't care if that person languishes or struggles to make ends meet. They don't care if that person needs to rely on public assistance just to survive. The longer they can use them, the more they can underpay them, the more rich these companies get. It's an extremely vicious cycle, but nothing's going to change until we get money out of politics. When we allow corporations and wealthy donors to influence our politics and our elections, we're not going to see these things change because they're going to be able to continue to fill Congress's ranks with corrupt politicians who will do their bidding. And we'll continue to see widely popular economic proposals get killed by corrupt politicians. And ultimately, that is to the detriment of honest, working people.